And here we are, folks. We are with the Seahawks' fourth straight win since the bye week. Like the great start, by the way. And it's also we still hold the number one place in the number one place in NFC West. I would even say at this point our biggest contenders are the Rams after their win over there. But otherwise, for this game alone, love to sweep the Cardinals. How about you?
Dude, I don't think I was built for this. I said it last week too. I mean, this was the first game we kind of dominated, right? Like they didn't even have sniff a chance of coming back. Really, we once it was two
Yeah.
scores out, I don't think they ever got close again.
Oh yeah, it was definitely, and that was like first quarter stuff. Even though
Yeah,
they scored and everything, if not first quarter, first half stuff, because that was definitely they definitely scored. But overall, though, love to see it. Love to see us sweep the Cardinals. You can't complain. Um, oh, look at that right there,
I love it.
2-0 against the Cardinals.
I love it so
I-
much. Just look at
yeah,
he's even got the
two.
rage quit.
you know, 2-0 against the Cardinals, all that good stuff. And I believe, if I remember correctly, um, oh yeah, right there. You want to see us beat the Cardinals?
Want to
You
see
want
us
to
do
see
it
us do it
again?
again? I think if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, this is Gino's sixth win over the Cardinals as
Yep.
well. Like he's 6-0 against them.
However good he was against the Cardinals, he's equally bad against the 49ers. He balances it out.
Yeah,
And we probably split with the Rams. I don't know.
and second best record in the NFL since 2012. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Especially across
Um,
coaching regimes, dude. Like
mhm.
rebuild what rebuild year? I mean, we're in the driver's seat to go to the playoffs again if we continue to execute, right? Like
Yeah,
you're
I
not
would
supposed
say
to do
we're in a
that.
definitely a good reload. We're still in a good reload, even with the
Good teams are
even
always
with
reloading though.
the coach helm change. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like even you look at even like the Chiefs, right? They're always bringing in new talent. They gotta keep that pool going.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So yeah, oh yeah, NFC West is ours for now.
For
Let's
now.
just wait on because at least
Relax.
wait until that very final game with the Rams. That I feel like as always in the NFC West, it always comes down to the very final game.
I hate that.
Top tier defense is back, of course. Love to see it with our defense holding the Cardinals down to 18 points. Geno Smith, as we said before, was 6-0 versus the Cardinals, and just the wide receiving duo of JSN and DK. You know what I'm saying?
In that order.
In that order,
Hey man, they're
both hit.
both our guys, but JSN is just he had another unbelievable grab this week for a touchdown as well too, right off a turnover.
Oh yeah, JSN staying the same as he always has been. I think this is like his fifth game this season, over 70 yards. Not with a touchdown though. That'll be I think at 3 games, if not no 4 games with that, with at least a touchdown. But man,
He had a touchdown this game too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're
And
saying just across the season?
in general, yeah,
Oh,
just
okay.
across in general for this season alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penny and Chris Carson put their spirit in Zach Charbonnet. That's very true, man. Zach Charbonnet, he won 22 rushes for 134 yards and 2 tutties. Also, 7 for 7 in targets and receptions, or he has all of his targets for 59 yards on top of that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I was watching one of these post game shows. I think I think it was with Mike McDonald and with on Seattle radio. He was
Mhm.
talking about a lot about how maybe it wasn't his show. Somebody was talking about the Cardinals um, defense plays a lot better than the talent that they have. And the way they do that is that they take out those explosive plays. That's what they try to do first and foremost. It's kind of like
Mhm.
what we try to do with two high safeties. And so the fact that Charbonnet was able to break off that big one was great, but a lot of these 7 receptions were just, checkdowns. And he took them for like 10, 15 yards each time. Like it was unreal.
And even if they're checkdowns, sometimes checkdowns can go bad.
Move
We've
the
seen
chains,
that
man.
this
That's
season.
fine. Yeah, we have.
I will take that because that means that's one less interception from Gino. He had no interceptions this game. Definitely had a good outing for him. Like basically, we got the efficient Gino, 24 for 30, 233 yards and a touchdown. So love it.
Yeah,
Also,
and
that tutty went to JSN.
any
Man.
game where Gino doesn't have to do too much is a good game, isn't it? I mean, here are the
Yeah.
PFF grades for the Cardinals. Jackson Smith and Jigba came in up top tied with Jaron Reed for 84.1, Charbonnet at 80.4, Gino at 79.2, Rayshon
Mm-hmm.
Jenkins 76.3. Good to have him back. He had one of the 2 sacks against Kyler. Mike McDonald, he called it a complimentary game. So I don't know where the best place to start is, but where did it really take off for
Offense.
us?
Offense. This was Ryan Grubb's first 30-point outing with our with the Seahawks offense this
Is it
season.
really?
Yep.
Even against the Lions, we didn't get 30 points?
No.
Damn. Why does it feel like
We had
we've been-
yards. We had yards.
Yeah, we
just
had
not-
yards.
I'll give you that. We had yards, but yeah, this is our should be our first 30-point outing this season.
Yeah, you're right. We had 29 against the Lions.
Yep, and you have to give Ryan Grubbs. He had to get that fire under his butt, but ever since the bye week, he's been incorporating a lot of counters and things of that nature. His offense wasn't as simple in the beginning because you have to also remember this isn't like his first offensive coordinator gig. This is just his first offensive coordinator gig in the NFL, and you can get eaten alive with the defensive coordinators out there if you don't know what you're doing. So hey, congrats to Ryan Grubbs taking all, even McDonald as well, like going over and improving the team over these last, like, especially since the bye, over that bye week into now, 4 weeks of just straight winning, top of the NFC West. But again, it starts with the offense, man.
I mean,
Gino,
I think one of the game balls that McDonald gave at the end of the game went to Scott Huff, and that's really where it should start. This is the first. I mean, the Cardinals, like they say, they don't have the talent on the depth chart. They play well above their means, I guess we can say.
oh yeah,
But this was the first game that I think this was the first game we didn't allow a sack, and we were dominant in the run game compared to a couple weeks ago, right? I mean, it's very easy to compare apples to apples, and a couple weeks ago with K9, we were not accomplishing anything resembling what we have here. Maybe the situation didn't call for it, but we were getting shit done on the ground, and that comes down to offensive line, and that just opened up everything else, right?
because I think even Lamea as well, the new starter we had at I believe the right guard position, he had an excellent start, by the way. I don't think he had any QB pressures off of him or anything like that, but he's such a bully. Such a bully in the running game that even off of this play that that Kanal here is about to show, this is like off of his block. So yeah, go ahead, man, take it away.
Where is he? Lamea is right. This guy right here. And here's Abe Lucas coming through. And just wiggle through. And it's been something I've been consistently complaining about too, is that we're not getting the best out of this running back. This running back wasn't having a good season because we were not able to get the best out of him, and we couldn't get the best out of him because we didn't have the personnel out there to do those inside runs, right? Like we saw it in that play. Charbonnet can break tackles. He's elusive. He's slippery. Just give him a tight space and he can just run up the middle. But you got to be able to open up those doors for him. Right.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because of his bulldozing method, he is what? He should also be he's the first Seahawks player with 100 plus rush yards in a game since Walker in week 1. That's this season.
Damn.
So that shows you how bad the running game has been for us throughout the season, that we've just woes. The second part is with that bulldozing style, as I was trying to reference earlier, he generated 41 rushing yards over expected on Sunday, which was the most by any Seattle runner in the past 2 seasons alone.
Yeah, and then I think it's easy. It's fair to say that this was probably 1B in terms of best individual performances this season from an offensive player, because JSN had that game where he should have had like 250 yards, but he didn't because the offensive line got called back for holding on a couple of those plays. But 190 total yards. We haven't had a performance like that from an individual player since JSN did that. But before JSN, it wasn't. I don't think we ever did.
I think, in terms of like running backs, we in terms of Seahawks franchise history, Charbonnet definitely is with 2 running back greats on if not 1, in the Seahawks honor, which is basically he joined Sean Alexander and Ricky Waters, 2002 and 99 respectively, for having 100 plus rush yards and 2 plus rushing TDs with the addition of 50 plus receiving yards. Which, it's funny, you would think K9 would have this already, but here's Charbonnet taking it.
If our offensive line plays like this, I mean, the next test for Ryan Grubb is to create some. You have your formations. If you only run one play out of a formation, you become predictable. So to expand that a little bit, but this is similar to a Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery type of situation where David Montgomery is much more of your power back, whereas Jahmyr Gibbs is your speedster. I mean, they obviously have overlaps in between. Dude, Sonic and Knuckles is such a good name, dude.
Pretty took it, but basically, we should be basically what the Detroit Lions are running at right now with their two running backs and how they can interchange the running backs, and it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't even feel like a momentum change, I guess, if that's if anything we have to improve on. I hope we can have a good momentum change, even when no momentum changes if we change out our running backs.
Yeah, and the thing is that we could only run one type of run play if we could run, and that was outside. And there's only one running back on our roster that could do that, and that was K9. If you're able to pepper in some inside stuff as well too, it opens up the play action. It just completely unlocks your offense. And it comes back down to the offensive line, is what we've been harping on this whole year. There were calls for evaluating or firing Ryan Grubb already, and there's justification to it. His short yard situations are abysmal. At least so far this season. And that can be coming down to offensive line play as well too. If you're taking 2 yard step back, as soon as the ball snaps, it's hard to get those short yardage situations. But with a healthy offensive line, healthy receiving core, I think DK is still a little banged up. I think we're going to see the full extent of this offense. And we have big tests coming up. Minnesota specifically after Packers, but Packers are no joke either. We're going to see what this offense has. We're going to have 2 home games, too, which make a difference because I don't know if we would have survived playing out there at Lambeau. But this is just going to be a good unit to see moving forward. And I think we're finally getting some, completeness to our offense.
Yeah, that's all I need. I think take the good of a solid, just having the efficient Geno Smith back. He doesn't need all the yards, even if he does have all the yards in the world, as long as he's efficient, that's great. Get Charbonnet some more reps. Even with K9 comes back, and I also want Kenny McIntosh to also have.
Oh yeah, Kenny McIntosh.
Some
let's give him a shout out, dude, because this is the first game I think that he had some serious snaps, right?
This is the only game where he had extended play time, and he had 7 for like 30 something rushing. And don't get it twisted, there were some very hard rushes, and even when K9 comes back, I want to see more Kenny McIntosh. He's a good change of pace back for the both of them. Obviously, he's hungry.
If we give him the foundation, you need that offensive line because that provides a platform for people to show their individual brilliance, right? Like this K9 speed or elusiveness. JJ.
I love our starting 5 offensive linemen in this game. There's probably still improvements. I think maybe
even
at
Laken
left
Tomlinson,
guard.
I think had a decent game. Like if you're not giving up any sacks, is it a bad game?
Oh yeah, exactly. I have nothing to say else on the offense. Good job. I think the only thing bad, Lockett had like his first catchless game, but that's kind of just like been a trend this season of he's not catching as much, and that's why we're on a wide receiver duo and not trio anymore. But it is what it is. Take what you could get.
There's only so many balls that are thrown, right? That too. I mean, I think he only had 1 target too, which is a little bit more.
The 1 target for his 1 end zone pass. It is funny because it was the same type of pass that back in the day that Lockett would definitely make. Yeah. It's the age-old one in the action green where he caught that side one, but no, not this time.
Yeah, and I mean I have the stats up here too, at least, just to give it some credit because I want to talk about the defense too. People are starting to get onto it. JSN is top 5 in yards in the league right now, and he's not too far behind top 3. I mean, number 1 and number 2, I don't think he's going to catch up to that. That's just unrealistic.
Number 1 and number 2, like he just has to have his big, high, close, like sub 200-yard games just to, be in there and stuff. Like I'm talking like the 180, his 180-yard game that he had with the Rams again with the 2 touchdowns. Definitely have to have like those back to back just to get up there.
Yeah, and so I mean he had 82 yards for a tud this game. 5 receptions, caught 5 of his targets, but. He's been a game changer, and it's been great to see that. And I think you could attribute that to a Ryan Grubb offense. They were starting to get creative ways to get him involved because he has the skill set you want. I love watching him run. He's the silkiest runner on our team.
I think he's definitely showing he is a wide receiver one. This isn't a wide receiver. I know we've been saying why I've been saying wide receiver one A, B, because with DK, but no, he's truly wide receiver one at this point.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the defense. Yeah, what'd you see out there?
Ernest Jones, love that man. He's gonna like it said on one of your tweets earlier. He's gonna make his money. He will make his money with the Seahawks. He was on the Rams previously and all that. Well, previously there was the Titans before, and then he was with the Rams. But love Ernest Jones. He got himself an interception. Tyrese had so basically our linebacking core. Tyrese had the most tackles in the game, but definitely really he was really well on his pass coverage. Otherwise, like and those are like the two that you're definitely showing right here. I would just say I love shout out to the D line. So Big Cat, that's Leonard Williams, as well as Jaron Reed, Byron Murphy the second, and all of them for like still, even though they had like 90 plus yards rushing in this one, Byron Murphy the second has been showing he can be a good run stuffer for the team. The pass rushing and stuff like that, I think he's still working on, but love to see it every day.
I mean, there's only so many people. There's only so many opportunities, right? When you got guys like Draymond Jones, Leonard Williams, Boye Mafe, Derek Hall. Derek Hall drew 3 holding penalties, which are drive killers. You know, they're almost as good as sacks. They're like I'll call them a half sack at this point because if you draw 3 of them, you're killing drives, and that's
for sure.
That's huge. Uchenna Nwosu had his first game back, didn't make much noise, but I mean, we had 2 interceptions early, and I think that's what made this game silly.
Oh yeah, I forgot Noosa was back, but that's okay because one, he was probably the typical rusty.
Yeah, I'm just showing the second, the first pitch. One from Ernest Jones.
He tripped right there. He could have got some more yards.
Yeah,
he could possibly even take it home. Well,
I don't think
that's
the
just
Kobe
me.
Bryant one, but Kobe Bryant one was nice too. But a lot of this, it comes from a good defensive line, right? Because they forced.
And we were rushing, like you were saying, we were definitely rushing. If not the holding calls on the Cardinals offense, sorry Oliver, but either that or rushing their quarterback basically to essentially just speed up and basically make mistakes in the offense and stuff like that. So Kyler Murray, I don't know why I was like.
This is my last tweet, and I thought it was hilarious. Can I show it?
Oh, of course. Go ahead.
Right.
Kyler Murray against the Seahawks.
Just right in the dome.
I don't want to face him.
Dude, like, somebody was saying some stat or something like that, but Kyler has, like, the second most... I don't know how they determined this, but second most bad play. It might have been one of those PFF type of things. But plays or, decisions that could lead to a negative outcome, like bad throws into, like, double coverage or making mistakes. He picked up where he left off. I mean, he had a 40-yard bomb to Michael Wilson, and I don't think he did anything else after that, Michael Wilson. But that's also atypical for the Seahawks defense over these last few weeks. But then it went pick, immediate JSN touchdown, pick, another touchdown like from Charbonnet, like.
Took advantage of all the mistakes. Love to see that too.
Yeah, because we have this tendency of keeping it closer than it needs to be, even towards
shooting ourselves in the foot and giving the ball back.
Can we? It says right here under the headline: "Special teams didn't suck, we win." And how did that happen? We fired everybody.
We literally did. We waived everybody that was our returner. If not, well, we didn't get rid of Jay himself. But
you want to hear something funny? Yeah, I mean, they had a good game. Like. Jay Harbaugh, like a special teams coach, like just don't fuck up. Come on, like just don't give up the huge returns and muff kicks, and you're okay. Nobody knows who you are. But
you were gonna say something real quick.
Yeah, Field Goals had a funny headline, which was I don't know what the headline was, but it was a funny story that Shenault got picked up by the Giants, and the Giants are looking for new ways to tank. That's why.
Oh man, I mean, hey, the Giants. Oof, I know we took a loss from them, but still.
Yeah, I know.
But still, at the end of the day, man, a win's a win. We're on top of the NFC West for now, which is good. We sweep the Cardinals, and we'll talk more on this in the NFC West and how that shakes up after all the games, but. I think the only thing else to kind of clean up, I would even say, is just, I don't know, like defense. better coverage. But I mean, that's just what's going to happen. Like, I think it was just that first play off of
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, that touchdown with Wilson. That was just kind of like, oh, come on, man. But he did fix it, had an interception and all that stuff. So thank you, Kobe Bryant, for being a hard worker and playing all the way through all 4 quarters of the game, because
Yeah.
it's never over until it's actually over.
I mean, but
And
to be fair, like Trey McBride is the guy that you called out, right? He didn't do anything this first half, and I almost to like to jinx it. The commentators were like, Trey McBride, I don't think he's even been targeted, or he's maybe
oh, and
been
then it's like,
targeted.
and there's Trey
And then
McBride
Trey
down the
McBride, Trey
field.
McBride, Trey McBride. I'm like, you fucks.
No, which is really good, right? Because that's one of the things that that got us the last time, which was pretty much just the Trey McBride, because he had like over 100 and almost 200 yards of receiving on
Yeah, it's
us
like
last time, right?
140 or something ridiculous like
Yeah,
that.
that's still too much for a tight end to be having on our defense. So I'm glad we took care of that. Otherwise, I mean, their offense still had some pop to them. They still had over like 100 yards rushing and stuff, but I think if anything, like the run defense wasn't as stuffy as it could have been. But at the end of the day, we held. I mean, we got 2 interceptions off of Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
James Conner only had 90 rushing yards. Kyler
Which
only had
on
16.
18 rushes, but like, it's
You're getting
situation
up
is
there.
yeah, the situation's kind of important too, right? Like, I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, like what was the total yards that the Cards had?
Well,
It was like 330 or something like that, right?
well, for passing yards, 235, rushing 121, so a total of like 356 to our 409 yards of
Yeah,
offense.
and that's the thing is that like, yeah, they had 356 yards, but the situation kind of changed for how we wanted to play. We needed to start protecting a lead as opposed to trying to claw back, right? And so you get a lot less aggressive. You try to keep everything in front of you. Bend, don't break. And so even
Yeah.
on that last 60 yards of their offense came on that last drive that amounted to nothing as clock ran out. Did
Oh
you?
yeah, because they missed a field goal too. You
Yeah,
remember that?
doinked right off the left upright. Did
Oh,
you?
their special teams gave up on them basically.
Did you get a chance to watch the full fourth quarter?
I watched a good chunk of it. Which part you mentioning?
So something was interesting was that the Cardinals started using up all their timeouts with 7 minutes or 6 minutes left, and like they didn't have any timeouts for like the last 5 minutes of the game. I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to judge. It seems like an analytics play, but and I'm definitely it's too small of a sample size. But I didn't. That one made me scratch my head a little bit. I don't know.
That made me scratch mine because they didn't score anything in that fourth
Yeah.
quarter.
And
all we gave them was the final, like, if anything, because it was 27-18 at the time. If anything, we just gave a field goal to make it like, okay. Even I said, give us at least a field goal, and we'll be okay. I'll be okay with this game because you never know what can happen in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter.
Just keep it 2 scores. They made it a little funny too by going for 2 on their last touchdown of the game, and that made it the math a little bit weird. But I mean, we dominated possession, 33 minutes to their 27. That comes from a strong run game. You love the fact that we hit a home run on a run, which I feel like I don't think we've done it maybe since like the first few weeks of the season. I think K9 had one. I mean,
I need
overall,
more of it from Charbonnet. Like I said, I've been saying this. Charbonnet had that 195 game with the touchdown. I said, I promise you, Charbonnet can do more, and he showed more in this. I told you, and I've even said he has hands.
Yeah.
He got hands too, because if anything, that was like the one odd thing out of the game was watching a running back, take a pass, and then he just like, even if it's a check down, just said, you know what, every opportunity I get.
I love it, dude. Like, and these guys are young, so they don't know fear yet, and that's the thing. One last thing that I was gonna say, which was a fun little tidbit. I think you and I were talking about it earlier. The partnership between Ernest Jones and Tyrese Knight is fantastic. They came in mid-season in playoff form. Like nobody could have expected that to happen. Usually, you expect some time to acclimate. It's kind of interesting because it seems like Tyrese Knight or Ernest Jones has taken Tyrese Knight under his wing.
Yep.
I mean, Tyrese Knight is a beast in his own right, but in terms of learning the ropes and all that kind of stuff, we have elite communicators all along our defense, showing him the ropes. Especially Julian Love. Julian Love is a name we didn't even mention. He had a quiet day, but by his standard, a quiet day is a pretty good day. Tyrese Knight has taken, Ernest Jones has taken Tyrese Knight under his wing, and it's interesting because I think when Ernest Jones was a rookie, Bobby Wagner was on the Rams, and I think they there's something similar that happened in that situation too. And so it's
Oh
kind
yeah.
of it's kind of cool to see it come full circle a little bit.
Yeah, otherwise, I mean, really good game. We had about I think we also had 2 sacks in this game as well. I'm just double checking the stats. Yep. Had 2 sacks from Jenkins and Hankins, so that's just the one's a safety, one's from our D line. So either way, love the pressures. I hope we can continue this, like basically the offense. I hope we can stay consistent and have another 30-point outing because we're going to need it in the next 3 games of this season.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got anything else before we send it home?
Thank you for the win, Seahawks.
Yeah, this is like literally our emotional roller coaster is like this. Hopefully, it doesn't go like
Sometimes,
this towards the
sometimes
end
it
of the
was
season.
down for like week 6 through 9.
Yeah,
This season it was just like us at the bottom. Just
yeah, dude. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here at Missed Reps. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you again next time.
peace.